Did it work?
Yeah, we're here. How's it going?
Cool.
Can you see me?
Yeah, I can see you.
Okay.
Let me see if I can fix this. So I got some complaints that I was too low.
So you were like
green. It's because I'm pretty short. So I'm sitting on a book today. Famously not tall.
You need like a booster seat.
I am literally using a booster seat. So to everybody who said I was too fucking short, thanks.
Yeah. How's it going over there?
Good. In
Good.
Costa Mesa? Yeah, nothing's happening.
Yeah. I'm glad it's finally like, at least like for this, the rain has kind of chilled out. It's been raining here like on and off for like every day.
Yeah.
I'm like over it. So we've been stuck in a house today. It was like the first day that like the sun opened up a little bit and I was able to like take Brooklyn out for a walk and stuff. So it was kind of nice. And then, yeah, hopefully it doesn't rain on me out here. I have the umbrella on. I
think it's not supposed to rain till tomorrow, so it should be chill.
Yeah. But we won't really get started until like another 7 minutes. We'll just wait for people to trickle in.
Nonsense time?
Yeah, just so everybody knows, if you have a question, use the question thing that's down below. See, it's like down there. And then oh, look at that. It's right there. Yeah, down there. And then we could answer questions. It'll be pretty mellow. But yeah, just waiting for people to trickle in. Trestles got shut down. It's all done. That happened.
I saw a video. Somebody tried to come in through a boat this afternoon or this morning, and then their boat got washed in. So
no.
Yeah, it's kind of a funny video.
I want to see that. I don't know it. I mean,
I think it's on Tom Kozad's Instagram. If you follow Tom Kozad, he's a great photographer from Newport.
I gotta check it out.
Yeah.
I would think there'd be more people that would try to do that, to be honest. Like why not? Especially if you live around like Capo Beach or something.
Why not? Why not do a beach that like nobody's patrolling? I mean, get some brains in you guys. If you're gonna do things that are wrong, do them the right way.
Do one where there's not a webcam, a surf cam.
Webcam or like park rangers, like
what up, River?
Area. So there's loads of beaches you could do that at. Like, that's why we can't surf there, is because none of y'all have sense.
Yeah, I think that. Yeah, well, that's the biggest problem, right? It's just that like people are just like picking the wrong spots. This could have been mellow if people from the people could have been smarter, and if like also the people from LA and would have stayed away. And
whatever, it's our own fault. I wouldn't blame LA people. Just get a hobby.
Yeah. No, I'm not.
And if you don't have one, find now's the time to find another one.
Yeah. Do you think there's like a blog you could go to and like you just type in like your stats and it says this is the hobby for you?
There's probably one of those generators things that are on Instagram.
Oh, that you put over your head?
Yeah, what hobby should I pick up? And it's like making catchers.
I mean, this sourdough making has kind of like been the new thing that everybody's been kind of like going crazy about.
Yeah, it's pretty hard tacos if you're somebody who has to get flour, because now it's making like the price of eggs has gone up like 250%. So
no way.
Yeah.
Oh Jesus.
Yeah, not the coolest, but
no.
I guess what are you gonna do?
Yeah, I mean that's it's just gonna drive the inflation up, kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I mean
that's what a capitalist society is about, isn't it?
Yeah. I mean, we've been pretty okay in terms of like that kind of stuff. Just like we bulk buy, so we're kind of like we went shopping last weekend for the first time in like 3 weeks. So it's kind of like we just do it like sporadically and it's fine. I mean, we just make sure that Brooklyn's fed. It's a lot easier like when it's just like a couple or something. You're kind of like,
I work at a restaurant, so
yeah.
I'm constant to what is it? I don't know how you would say it. We bear then.
Yeah.
I work at a restaurant, so I'm constantly looking at the price of eggs. It'll probably hit you. Maybe it won't hit you. Hopefully it won't. Hopefully it will like stop. But like if you're buying like a case of eggs, which is like 15 dozen.
Yeah, that's when it's going to really. Yeah.
The case of eggs has gone up.
Yeah.
If you're somebody who looks at prices constantly, I don't know if it's true for a supermarket. It's harder to track at a supermarket, I think. It's like you can kind of track like gas prices or something like that, but like unless you're constantly paying attention.
No. Oh, look at
Ooh,
River's
you that young?
already chiming in. Jesus. I guess we could get started. I mean, look, it's a
I'm
little
gonna
early.
choose Nueva.
Okay, so this installment, we were really supposed to be talking about stretch fives and who does them best. Now, in your opinion, what is the perfect definition of a stretch five for you?
If you're gonna just just somebody doing one,
Yeah, like if you looked at it and you were like, "That's a perfect stretch five." Like, what for you are the
one
parameters?
foot's like this and one foot's like this, and your hands are probably like that or some version
Like
of
that.
Yeah.
So
If you literally like, it's like maybe just a smidge longer than what your foot placement is for a regular five.
okay, so wider stance out, I would say lower to the board, right? For sure.
For sure. It doesn't count if otherwise it's just a five or something.
Yeah, you got to be low. Pretty much critical part of the wave.
Hopefully.
Yeah, I mean, it can't be out on the shoulder. Out on the shoulder is like kind of.
Oh, you can. That's the problem with them. You can. That
Yeah.
was the biggest. I just know that like for me one time, and I would say that time was like I want to say it's like Noosa in like 2015 or something, but like Joel had mentioned that just a lot of kids doing fives, and he's just like, just stand up, do a 10. It's like all these kids doing like fives. It's like what the fuck is wrong with you kids? And I really took that to heart. But what was cool is that it like really made me think about why I was doing them and what kinds I was doing. And like it was also the year that like Alex was at Noosa, and then during his like heats and finals at like the point, he was doing these like stretch fives where he was like so far behind the section, and it's like Noosa's like kind of a racy wave anyways, and he just started pumping from the nose, and I was like, oh, so it's like those were pretty filthy, but like there's a difference between doing, I don't know, there's a difference between all of them. It's just like hanging 10 or whatever. Like it's not just you doing it, it's like the way you're doing it.
Yeah, for me, I think like the ones that I'm most attracted to that I would put in my category of like being the best, it's like really stretched out, really low, hand placements like tight tucked in, and you're in that critical part of the wave where it's just like almost over your back, you know, it's just like you're so in that pocket. And that front foot is like magically, like if you look at a still of it, like there is maybe like that much of actual foot touching the board. It is just like magically just like holding that in there. That's why for me, like out of the modern day people that do them, obviously for me, Alex is probably my favorite. Nost is like how he does them. Wait,
I gotta say hi to the mayor of Newport real quick before you have to get off and get to work. What's up, Brophy?
There you go. Thanks for joining. Got some people coming in. But yeah, how Alex does them, like on a longboard, and also like I've seen him do a bunch on like, you know, bonzers and stuff. Like he is just so, that weight is all the way, you could see it's all the way on that back foot. You know, it's so much on his body is so like it's on that back foot really low, and the speed that he's generating from it is just like insane.
Well, it's wild because actually I don't think his weight is on the back foot, because you can't generate the way he's like pumping. You can't do that from just your back foot, because he needs his front foot to have weight, otherwise the board won't keep driving forward. If you're all your weight's on the back foot, then you're just not driving forward as hard as you could be. And so I would venture to guess that like if you looked at Alex doing them, you're gonna see that his feet are probably a little clawed, and that's probably because there's tension in there, and there's probably tension there because he's actually really using that front leg, and it's not as off balance as like, that's the thing, is that there's like a million ways people do them, and like some people really like you can do really back leg heavy ones. Devin tends to do ones that are more back leg heavy, I think.
Yeah.
Ask him. I'm not positive, but from what I think, I should have watched videos, but like from what I remember in videos, like he's usually a lot back foot heavy. But like the only way you can drive is if your weight's on both of them.
Yeah, yeah, you can't bog it down on the front. That's the thing. Like I've seen a lot of people, and that's a tendency I have when I try them, is that I push down too much in the front, and it just slows the whole thing down. Like where I have to just go back.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just so crazy to me that you have like that front third of a longboard that you're like in it and like controlling so much, like with so little traction in a way, you know. But at the
Yeah.
same token, spreading it out that much is like giving you that kind of distance to like kind of like counter it and stuff. The one thing I noticed is that a lot of people like yourself and Alex and Grant is another person, Grant Noble. A lot of people who surf beach breaks tend to do them the best.
Yeah,
Like,
I don't know. I don't know. Is that true? I don't
I
know.
think so. I think so because you guys are, you know, kind of grow up surfing these faster waves that you kind of know how to set up for them quicker. I see a lot like, I
That
mean,
might be true.
that's like how I look at it. Like the setup is just like immediate. Like it's like boom. It's like it's not
Yeah.
this slow point break setup where you're like, okay, I can
Oh
take
no.
my time and like kind of fade back into it. It's like, you know, like look at like Grant, like how Grant does them. Like Grant just is like in it, like boom, in it. It's just going super fast.
Yeah. So it's like he could have done a number of maneuvers, like or setups to like make whatever section he is, and he just chose to do a stretch 5 because he probably maybe he's trying to get through like pass through a section. Because I use him a lot to go around like either around a section or to speed up during a section.
Yeah.
But like you'll also watch some of the ones I do are you'll see me like walk and I'll be doing like a 10, like
Yeah.
and I'll purposely ride pretty high on the top of the wave. And then you'll see me like push and you can see like and you'll see it if you like look at a still or if you slow-mo it, like you'll see my front foot really pushes the whole thing down and then I like hopefully blast through that section that I was like I'll like try and hang up so I'm a little far behind it so that way I can like get through the section that way.
Yeah, I mean, it's at the end of the day, it's a speed maneuver, right? It's supposed to be a maneuver that's like going to get you through stuff. You know, for the longest time when I started surfing, I didn't really think of it that way. Like I was like, oh, it's like a style thing. Like you're going to slow down. And then I
That's the problem. It's not a style thing. And I
No.
think that's what Joel's complaint was the whole
Yeah.
time is that it's not necessarily aesthetics. It's like,
oh no,
it has a function. And
No,
a
and
lot of people were abusing that function, you know?
yeah, they were just doing it like, yeah, no. I once Cassia told me that once. She's like, no, you go to the front when you got to go through it. Like when you got to go through it, like just run to the front and get low and like have that front foot like stretched out as much as you can and in it, you know, kind of thing.
Yeah.
Look, I mean, you know, you surf with me. It's something I struggle and I'm learning as I'm going, but it's something I try to think about. You know, I definitely try to think about. You know, it's that speed. It's like generating that speed because especially when you have a board that's like, you know, between 9.4 and 10.0, like where are you getting? You have to get the speed from it, you know, to make the section. Like,
yeah. You just want to be driving. You kind of want to just be driving forward because like some waves are runners and you want to be able to run with it. So you don't want to lose any of your speed. And you kind of do that by like doing all the other nonsense. This helps you like just kind of, for me, it works because I know I'm a lighter person. So I think for me, it helps me like trying to like force the board to go forward. And so it's like, you'll see some of the ones I do where I'm like leaning pretty hard forward not of the nose, but like leaning pretty far forward. And it's because I'm trying to like push the board and trying to go faster.
There's like that. Yeah. I mean,
and then you'll see sometimes I'll just like, you'll also see like videos. I know like in Haley Gordon's and it's easier to see in hers because there's a lot more slow-mo is that you'll see me like casually hit a bottom section. And then you'll see me immediately stick my arm in because I've like hit the section that I need to get through. And then I'm like just jabbing my arm into the wave to like slow down and like make sure that my speed is now matching the speed of the wave.
Right. That you're not like overshooting it because you're just, like, you got all that power and stuff like that.
And it also works that like sometimes let's say you're going too fast and like the wave's not setting up fast enough after you've like blasted through that section is you can stick your arm in and it actually like helps you like stall enough that it helps you like stand up. It gives you a little second to stand up and then
cool.
Continue.
Oh, that's a pretty cool idea. I never even thought of it.
Little cheater trick in case you're
No. I mean,
your muscles aren't as toned as other people.
Yeah, well, that's why we're talking about this. Like, people need to hear this. Who for you does your favorite stretch fives?
Josh Barbaro, easily. He's the one who taught me how to do them. He's the one who told me told me how to do them, or told me why you should do them. He told me both, I think, but like.
So what did he tell you? What was exactly what he told you?
Well, Farborough, famous Malibu legend. He is a man who can surf well beyond Adam. Like he'll take off beyond like the flagpole, beyond like Adamson's house, and like on a good swell, he makes every single one of those sections. And like I'm a person that's like known for sitting at Poacher's Peak.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so I know people don't make that section. So like I'll just sit there and like blast through those ones. But he's one of the few people that will consistently make a section. And he just told me what's up one day and was just like, hey, if you want to make this, you should be doing this, and this is why. And he was like, and this is how you'll kind of do it, because he's like, this is the function of this maneuver, and so you'll get through sections if you do it this way.
Which makes sense. So. I mean, that's why it's like you can't. I mean, trying to force that as a maneuver just for the sake of forcing it as a maneuver on waves that are slower is just not going to work. It's just
you can do them. I mean, I think I posted a photo the other day of me doing it, but you do them now. I like doing them on really tiny waves, just because like if it's tiny and pretty crummy anyways, there's like, I think it's just kind of entertaining because you really have to balance your weight. I don't think they look good. I don't think they're great to photograph.
Right.
But for like a 2-hour session where the waves are like legit, maybe
you gotta mix,
maybe
at
like
that point you gotta mix it up.
I gotta be entertaining myself. It's why I like learned a million tricks, is because like I just have to entertain myself. And so, but you'll see in photos like that, you'll see a lot of people who like they'll do their stretch 5 and they'll be stretching, and then you'll also see that their arms are kind of towards the wave. So if they're going right, it's they're just, their arms are towards the wave, and it's part of it is because like they're trying to continue to go with the wave, but the wave's not really big enough or holding enough. So you're also making sure your weight's like going in the right direction.
Oh, this is a good question. When's the best time to pull off of a cheater 5?
Oh, after you get out of the tube. Is that right, Rat? What do you think? Like he should respond. He's great at that stuff. Did I have fun at the duct tape in New York? You better. I mean, I don't know if you're asking me, but you better believe it. I had a great time.
That was a good party. That was
maybe too much fun.
That was a good 3-4 rainy days of October. That was fun.
Yeah. I mean, I love New York. I love the Rockaways. I think it's super fun.
Joel, bring it back there. Bring it back there.
I can't wait. I can't wait to come back to New York and catch a few shows. You know, go to eat at a couple of ramen places, meander around the city. But yeah, New York's duct tape was sick.
Yeah, the waves sucked, but it was fun. I had
fun. I mean, but that's
you got to surf one of the days that the waves were good. Like I had to work.
Yeah, that's the key.
Yeah. Like you went off and you were gone, and I was like looking over where you guys were surfing, and I was like, "Fuck, I don't want to be doing interviews."
I was just
right
surfing
now.
with like Christian Teal from Pilgrim Surf Shop. I had such a great time though.
I was like, God, this would look really bad. Vans paid me to come, and I just was like, peace out. I'm going to surf.
Hey, yeah. Well, you gotta try and become a personality so you can get away with a lot more.
Yeah.
Oh, I haven't been to that ramen place. It's in New York. I'll have to.
Puto is really good.
Where's it at? We're on Ramen Talk now.
Yeah. No, it's good. Don't they have one in Santa Monica too?
I don't know. I would never go to Santa Monica though for
no. Yeah, but I think they have one in Santa Monica too, and it is legit. It's good, and they have a lot of different types.
Best female and best male nose rider right now.
Oof.
Female?
That's a tough one.
I think I might go with Sierra Lurbeck.
Oh yeah.
I think I might choose Sierra. She just does these really strong 10s, and they're just like, you can tell that she's at the nose just because she wants to be at the nose and not and because you should be at it. But like I find a lot of surfers get up to the nose by what I would call like the grace of God, where it's just like everything else is letting them do it, but like maybe not as much technique, and so you can only go up there when the conditions allow you to do it. And Sarah just like knows what's to do.
Yeah.
Best male nose rider? God, I had an answer for that the other day. What was it? You answer one of these.
I don't know, because I have a big list of people I would put on the best male nose riders. Now?
Nose rider.
Because there's just too many. Like, I'm
going to say Jai Lee.
That's a good pick. I also think how Devin's been nose riding recently has been pretty sick.
He doesn't count though because he's like in the legends department.
Yeah, see, that's the
Yeah,
thing.
she's
So
a
it's like
legend.
if you want to talk about like, that's like tough. I basically don't want to. How could I say? That's like asking me like, what's my favorite hip hop song? Like that's gonna be no, it's gonna be like a 20-person list. Like it's gonna be insane. Gato
Gotcha
San,
Sun is
yeah,
a good choice.
dude. Gato San has
That's
been ripping, dude.
Yeah, he's gonna be real bummed about that shutdown.
No, he is. He is. I've been talking about him. But here's the but for around here is that we found someplace that's not a surf spot, but that'll probably occupy our time for the next 2 months if necessary. So we're pretty happy.
Pac-Man mission.
Yeah. Remember, people, you should skate. Skateboarding's a lot of fun.
Yeah, true.
Uh,
What was it? Yeah, so you can do them when the waves are small, but it's kind of a trick design for you to like beat sections and stuff like that.
yeah.
When's the best time to pull out of one? Literally, depending on the wave, it's like when you start to see the wave, you can see the end of the tunnel. Is when I usually like to I kind of flick my board a little, and so that it gives me like I want to say I like lift the board up a little, so that gives me a little time to like stand and do like a 10, or it lets me like walk back because if the section starts getting really flat, I think it's actually looks like it'll be easier to stand up, but it's generally not because you now don't have like the wave supporting you as much to like to get up, I guess.
Here's another question out of curiosity, and I wanted to hear your take on this because you have a particular stance on all different kinds of boards and stuff. Do you think there's some boards that help you with cheater fives more than others?
Probably.
Okay. But I mean, but in your opinion, like what would I would think like a wider nose rider is going to be hell to do that on because it's
a little harder. You'd have to be further. Well, it's not that it's hard. It's just totally different. You're going to be on a different part of the wave.
What up, Jeff?
Like if you're on like a board with a smaller nose, you're able to just tuck in a little harder and a little deeper, and the nose isn't constantly like if the wave's crashing like this and your board's like this. If your nose is really wide, then it's almost like going like this, and it doesn't really want to hold. Whereas like the nose is smaller, it lets you like kind of like do the section.
Yeah, see, that's
like loose science.
No, but I think people need to know that because I think a lot of times they think they could take like, an in the pink or something like that, and they start trying this stuff, and it's like they're getting frustrated, and it's like...
In the pinks are great for helicopters. That's what you do.
They're good rental boards.
They're so sick for like helicopters, I think.
I fucking hate those boards.
Because they got that good planing surface at the front that just allows you to like really like... You can see like Tommy Witt's like a great... It just like really lets you like swizzle it.
Yeah, definitely a pig shape with a narrow nose makes more sense. I think that's what she's getting at.
I only surf with like a couple pro skaters. What pro skaters?
Like active pros or like people who like once had a board and like don't skate.
I'm gonna say I haven't skated with her, but I'm still waiting for it. I can't wait to surf with like Alyssa Steamer. I'm still holding out for that.
Yeah.
She asked me to like downhill skateboard once in San Francisco, and I was just like,
dude, bombing hills in SF is a lot of fun. I haven't done it since like the mid 90s.
I'll never know. I get my thrills other way. So
I went
on doing it still.
No, I mean I wouldn't do it now, but back in the day, that's why I love that GX 1000 shit. Like seeing those guys just like Wally stuff into like a bomb, like bombing down the hill.
Well, the Westworld, we're in the skater talk now. Westworld video. Is it Westworld?
Yeah.
Yeah, they put out like a 30-minute edit or something like that. That's just insane. It's all San Francisco. It's so sick.
There's something that dropped today. I think it's called Helen or something. It was on Thrasher. Jason Arnold had a part. I don't know if you know him. He's the artist who does surf calls like that dude. He had like a really fun part in it, but some other guy had a part in it, and it's all like it's straight up like Wally.
I think Jason. I'm gonna sound real dumb, but I think he surfs.
No, he does. He surfs all the time.
And by say that, I mean I know him.
He's
friends with like Bella.
Him and I talk all the time. I'm like a huge fan of his art. Like he's an unbelievable, not just a graphic designer, but I don't know if you've seen his paintings. His paintings are insane. Like
they're great.
like, I can't even believe that he does these. But anyway, in this video, like, I forgot who it was, but this guy is straight up like bomb, wall ride, big power slide setup. Oh, look at there's a very specific question for you, Warren.
Setup. How about a longboard tail? I think I like a, let's go look at the board.
Here we go. Now,
so I like a tail that's like, it's a square tail. It's got a little flip at the end. It's usually it's not that wide. It's usually, I'm gonna say, about that wide. The fin setup, I love an aggressive fin. So like I'm using like a 10.5, between a 10.5 and 11. And oh, it's right here. Hopefully this is the future fin that I'll be using.
Yeah.
See if I can put it in. But it's great because it holds. So the way, this is what I should have done is like Mike Sorodia, Zigzag was talking about it, is we both learned the same lesson from the different shapers, and it was like how to tell how your fin's going to turn on a board. And maybe I could do that. Here, let me see if you can I flip this around?
Yeah. If you do that little thing. Yeah, there you go.
So there's my fin. It's fully, my other fin's fully not in. But you put your fin like this, and then you want to kind of put it right here. So you see how much like fin is like outside of the thing? So that tells you like that I'm going to be able to flip my board pretty far on rail before it like kind of stops holding. More or less. And this is like real loose science, but it kind of gives you like a good gauge. So let's say you were using a fin that's like, God, I think this would be a 9 right here, like right when you hit like that.
Yeah.
So if a 9, you only have like an inch or two before you're like off the thing, which means you just can't turn as hard. But you also can use like, there you go. Sorry, I had to use my phone because it makes it easier. Yeah. And Jeff's doing a strength coaching session, so I can't use my computer. But but if you, it kind of gives you an idea of like how hard you're going to be turning. And my rails are pretty soft. I'm actually not a fan of the edge in the tail because I just don't like when the edge is too hard for me. When I turn, I end up like start skidding out.
Yeah, I kind of like, yeah.
So it's not the best explanation, but if you want to ask Tyler Hitzikian, Mike Sorodia probably can give it to you better, or Matt Calvani. Matt Calvani was the one who told me, so he kind of explained that. It's real loose. It's a loose gauge of what you're doing, but it gives you an idea of like, it helps you visualize how your board's going to turn and what it's going to be allowed to do and when it's going to start like spinning out on you.
It's funny because Chano showed us the same thing one time, like when we were surfing.
What if it's just all nonsense that all of us are just passing to one?
No, imagine someone just came up with this bullshit thing, and it's like, oh, this person told me it, and this person, and now it's just like, it's like the worst
church
chain letter. It's like the worst chain letter that ever existed.
Exactly.
And someone's gonna, church or Malibu. Church is like 100 times better.
Yeah.
No crowd, faster wave.
Chiller drive.
Nicer. It's prettier. It's not.
I think people like me. I haven't worn out my welcome at church yet, so like that's always helpful.
I love that you turned me on to church a couple of years ago. Now it's like, now I live down here. It's like my crack. Like it's like that's all I want to smoke all day long. Like I'm just like into it. Like I'm so into it. It's just a nice wave. It's funny. I went out there one day with Mike when it was like a shitty day. Like swell was the wrong direction. And it was still fun. It was still funner than going anywhere else. Like I was like, this is still, it was just me and him and 2 other people. I'm like, dude, like,
yeah, it's a pretty fun wave.
Malibu honestly can go fuck off. Like I'm like so over that. Like the whole thing. It's not.
I wouldn't go that far. I'm not going that far. Don't get mad at me, Malibu.
No, even when I lived there. I mean, I was going there a lot when I lived there, and I'm just like, it's too much. It's too much.
Oh, I used to mess with that wave so heavy because I used to work up in LA. So then I would just get off of work super late at night. Then I would probably go drinking, which is not the best idea. And then I would wake up late the next day, drive up to Malibu, surf Malibu until I had to like go to work so fried because I'm just like burnt from the sun and burnt from the ocean, and then like and then work and then do the whole thing over and over.
Look, I agree with that. Uncrowded, shitty waves are better than good crowded waves. But when it's an uncrowded, really good wave like churches, it's even better.
Also, I haven't surfed. I haven't surfed in England. I was hoping to do it in September. So, fingers crossed. That's still my goal.
Any leaks on where the next duct tapes are going to be? There was
Is anybody doing anything?
Yeah. Well, no, they're going to do something. I talked to Joel like yesterday. They're doing something. It's just changing dramatically because with what's going on. I mean, it just like upends everything.
Yeah.
He's still on to do his contest, his surf fight contest. That's still going to happen. So that's still on the books. That's like the thing he's concentrating on. The duct tapes, like once this stuff all clears up, they'll kind of have an idea. I know there was, it's really crummy because I know that originally the talk was that there were going to probably be like 6 of them or something like that this year. That's obviously been tailored down. And supposedly there was supposed to be a California one outside of the U.S. Open. That was the rumor. I'm not exactly sure if it's 100% right, but
the U.S. Open one's kind of. I mean, everybody else hates it.
Yeah, but it's just a party. The waves suck. It's just a
waves
party.
Are pretty rough. I'm just not good at surfing Huntingtons, but I do get to hang out with a lot of skaters, and I get watch a lot of skating. Last year, I met Leandre Sanders, which I was like super stoked on. He's like, his Instagram is Skategoat. He is a really good switch skater. He's a really good skater in general, but he's beyond good. Like,
you can't tell which way he skates, which is crazy.
Insane. So, I mean, it's one of those things where you take the good and you take the bad, and you get to choose which one you want to really do. And I think that there's so many really cool pluses to like doing the duct tape at the U.S. Open. I get to hang out with a lot of people that I would never hang out with because we're never all together. So it's kind of cool.
You get to see washed up pro skateboarders beg for acai bowls. Good to see that.
Did they? I didn't see it.
That was the hot take.
Probably because I wasn't there.
No, Jeff and I were like, we were laughing about it. We were like, yo, these people are thirsty for these acai bowls. Like they're good. It's crazy to see someone grab like 6 of them in their hand, like between their fingers, and like run down the stairs and come right back up and get 6 more. Like I was like,
yo, that's me at like the skate tent where it's just like they got this like jug of like red vines, so I'm just like handfuls of red vines in my pockets, and they have like a bucket of like goldfish crackers, and I'm just like, don't mind if I do. You guys have Dr. Pepper? I'll take that on the way out.
Look, the setup of the what you call it of the U.S. Open one was really good, but contrasting it to like the Rockaway one, because the one in the Rockaways, the food was so good. Like it was like
it's totally different. It's like fully, but I will say that like Vans skate when we did the skate night at the skate park.
Yeah,
I think it's the Huntington Beach skate park. Whatever, it doesn't matter. Whichever skate park it is. It's owned by Vans though, and they had this spread by Cyclops Farms, and it was just like hummus, guacamole, fresh baked bread, tons of veggies, and like chips, and I just like a million dragon fruits. I just like crushed.
See, that's the one thing that was that one thing that whole weekend or whatever you want to call it, I didn't go to because I was so exhausted from all the other shit. Like I remember that night being like Robots is like, are you gonna come? And I was like,
Talkaway Beach is on.
I was like, I'm going home. Talkaway Beach is dope.
Yeah, it's so good. I like when I said I was going to, when I finally decided I was going to go to the New York Rockaways, I literally was like, yo, is the taco stand open?
Yeah. Dude,
that was like, I bought my ticket. I got my ticket, and then I was like, hey, y'all still open? Because I'm about to smash some elotes in a minute. And it was sick. It was
the thing they got to do next time, though, if they do it in the Rockaways, they have to make sure that they pay for the Mr. Softy truck to stay right by the booth the whole time. Oh, here's a good question. What would you recommend for a good all-rounder surfboard?
Well, what kind of wave do you usually surf?
Yeah, that's the big question.
It's a lot of weird. I think a lot of people want just like one answer. I use the same board I'm not one of those people who like takes like 7 boards or whatever to a trip or a contest or something and then is like, let me figure out my quiver. I'm literally a person that's just like, I'm going to use the same board until if I like a board, I'm just going to run it to the ground and then start to panic because I have to get another one and I haven't done it. And then I've like already ran that board over. But like for me, if I'm surfing like a beach break, I really love like a little hippier board, a bit smaller nose. Like my noses, I think are around 16.5, but you could go like 17.5. You don't have to get aggressive. And I think a smaller nose, hippier board, it allows you, especially at a beach break, allows you to do a lot more wiggling, which I think you need to do because like the wave's always changing and you're always trying to like finagle your way around to this section. You're always trying to just finagle your way to the end section, whereas like on a point break, you kind of just get the luxury of like being like, I'm just going to set up, do the thing, and then I'll do whatever else I'm doing. But like a beach break, you're really trying to, it's like a labyrinth almost, where you're just trying to find the answer. And sometimes there's no good answer, so you just like kind of want to be able to. I get really frustrated when I'm on a nose rider.
Would you also say like, I would also think like lighter glass, a little lighter.
Yeah, now I like tore my MCL once, like riding like a really old board, so I kind of got a little over them. But like I like a little lighter glass. Like I would say a medium. I'm gonna say a medium weight board.
Yeah.
Candace, come to California. It's fun out here. We could just hang out for 2 weeks in quarantine together.
Locked up. Wear masks. Oh shit! I
have a mask for you. Come on over.
I didn't wear my mask today. Am I going to get in trouble for being outside without my mask on?
You can be outside. You just can't like.
No, I know. I'm joking.
Not infect other people. But no, yeah, like for me, I like a medium weight board. I like the feel of a board and the weight of a board. There's things that I'm. Oh yeah, Trenton asked me this. Like, what are your go-to dimensions? And it's like there are things. I'll have to answer that in a second. There are things that I'm just super not particular about certain things in a board, and there are certain things that I'm like super into. So like the weight is really important to me. How the rails feel are really important to me, and usually I want a bit of a smaller nose. I don't like a pointy nose. I don't like it to go like this. I like it to be real Aussie style, like squarey almost.
Like blunted out a little.
Almost a little blunted out, but sorry if somebody asked. Nobody's asked. The Dano board is great. I ran it into the rocks and haven't fixed it yet. Don't tell Dan. It's kind of. I mean, I probably.
We talked about this last time.
I'm a mess. But yeah, the board's sick. The Danos are like, I really like them. I always ride the Creeper. It's kind of. When I first got an Old Pleasure when I first started riding for him. And then I got Jared's Creeper that was like about, 17 days from like falling apart. And I was the one who was in charge. I just ran it to the ground. But I love that board. I love the way it flexes. It's like a double step deck. And it's kind of got a flat, roundish, pretty flat. And then it's almost like he flattens it and then like rounds the bottom. So it's a little round. So you can do a lot of on the wave. And, so I really like his boards. I love them. I think you can't go wrong with the Dano.
What Bob was saying about the 666, the Devil's Glassing schedule, that's the one that Mike and Joel and all of them, like I remember Mike Ciordia telling me like that's his go-to is the 666. Like double six.
Yeah. I should probably know. I know more about it, but it's not one of those things I'm super particular about. Is like the weight of the glassing and like which ones. They always tell me and I'm like, fuck. Wait, Nico, I'm going to answer your other question. Okay, so alternative boards, I'm always for them. Like a Fish Simmons, a glider, whatever you want to ride. I think ride it. I think the point of the game is to have fun. And so I think have fun. Like, don't worry so much about what everybody else is saying is dumb. Because at one point, everybody said that traditional longboarding was dumb. And look at us now. So I think you do whatever you want to do. And, just don't be a dick in the water. But like,
that's easier
for me, I spent a good part of the summer like riding a bodyboard at Boogie Land. I love it. My favorite wave in California. Okay, so I'm gonna say it's easily Church, but there's a wave by like my parents' house called Seal River, and we like to call it the Rivcon, and it's not a secret at all. Like, it's on a map. There's tons of photos of
But
it.
nobody knows how good it is. Like,
it's really good. It's not very good, but it's really fun to surf. And it's got this like little punchy like suck up thing that's super fun to surf. So
I'll say one thing. We took Chano there one day. Like, what was it, year and a half
Oh
ago?
yeah, you did.
And he's like, Mike was like, you do not geotag this. You don't say anything. And if you're filming it, don't film this part of it. And then when Chano got out of the water, he's like, I can't believe you guys have a secret wave like this. I'm like, well, it's not really that big of a secret. You can still see it on the cam, but a lot of people don't realize.
I'm like the exact opposite. I'm real, like, you know, everybody have fun. I'll just tell you everywhere I'm surfing.
No, see, that's why you're awesome. Like, you don't. I'm like in the middle. Like, I'm like,
I'm gonna still get my waves, so I'm not
like,
tripping.
I'm like, all right, you know, kind of thing. Although I didn't hit it I think I went once this year because it wasn't really like, it wasn't working like last year. Remember
2020? I haven't hit it. I haven't surfed it. I barely surfed like the Spot X or whatever. God, there's so many fun waves. There's a lot of like between where I live over in Newport and like Seal Beach or Long Beach where my parents live. There are so many crummy little waves that I love surfing. I love surfing Boogie Land. It's like a bodyboard wave or a body surfing wave. So you get a body, and it's cool because you get like 45 minutes and you're like, cool, I've gotten it all. What else? Anderson Street's really fun. For me,
I've surfed that a couple times.
Main Tower's pretty fun.
There's parts of both.
South Side, North Side, Second Pier, Yoda's. There's Rivcon, where I host the Rivcon, the Loose Rivcon Classic.
Yeah, that should
best trip, but like surfing trip or regular trip? That's the question.
Yeah. Do you think Joel would want to hold a duct tape at RivCon?
He would never. Me even saying stuff like that is why I don't get invited to things. It's like, dude, you're so wild. I once got in trouble because I was literally at Malibu and it was pretty going off, and I was just kind of bent on like the crowd factor, and I literally was like, whatever, I'm going home, I'm gonna surf river. And he was like, are you high right now?
So yeah.
I'm like, yeah, it's like, it sucks, I'm not getting any waves. Oh, fully. I would say fully. How do you think these waves have shaped your style? I'd say they've fully shaped my style. Because I was talking with my husband, Jeff, about it a couple of days ago. There's like so many things that like, and it's weird because Blackies is, I guess, the spot that I'm known for surfing, but it's like, there's people who surf Blackies. Like we all do a very similar thing. Like we'll do the same. One of them is like we do this bottom turn where we like turn out of it and we lean back instead of leaning forward. And like I know I do it. I know Alex does it. Levi does it. Jared does it. We all do it differently, but we're doing the same thing. And so you can just like it's like weird things like that where you can tell we're all surfing the same wave, like somehow, even though we're like different. It's almost like siblings or cousins, maybe.
Yeah, you guys do have. So, I mean, all you guys do have that like DNA. There's like a DNA there that comes from those waves, you know, and you guys have your own personality to that DNA, if you will. And what you said, siblings, is kind of like the best way to explain it. Like you guys are like related, but you have your own identity. And
it's like cool because you get like people like Charlie Waite, and he's like a more classic. Yeah, I would say. Yeah. Really, you're just really polished longboarder. And so there's like a part of it that's like very much like your, what is it, nature, and then a part of it, whatever, nurture or nature, whatever it is. Part of it's just the wave we're surfing, and then part of it is like Charlie's a chiller, not personality wise, but like in style wise, he's a chiller dude. Whereas like I think you name a lot of us at like Blackies and we're a little sprackier anyways. Yeah. Yeah, those quick stalls. Yeah, Rat's too. Rat does a bunch of that. There's like, we all surf switch dance. That's a good example. Like, I don't know if you have more switch dance, like surfers coming out of any, or longboarders coming out of any other beach break. No. Where it's like, not only are we like switch dance, but it's like people who are regularly right. So we're regular footed, and we're in a state that's like regular foot, and we're still like surfing a lot of lefts and like just going switch dance. So.
Well, I mean, a lot of the beach breaks naturally, like up and down the coast, they're going to have more of a they have like some really good lefts, like Blackies, even like Porto and stuff like that. The left is better than the lefts usually are like hollower and faster than the rights.
Yeah, and I look for the lefts.
Yeah.
Well, that's the other thing is like we're also like not as we're looking for an opening more than we're looking for maybe like which stance we want to go for.
I mean, that's how, that's how it should be. You shouldn't be forcing it before you're going on the wave. I think that's the sin of like, when you get into that whole point break, that's like the detriment of the point break surfing. When you get so used to like, you're only going one direction and you can't go the other way. Meanwhile, you should be prepared to go both ways.
Yeah. Well, yeah, obviously Porto has sick lefts. You've watched like a million like Tyler Hadzikian videos.
I mean, Jesus Christ.
You would know that.
The thing that's crazy about Tyler Hadzikian is like all his footage, when he's surfing Porto, he makes it seem like it's the best wave that's ever existed. Like you're like, oh my God, that wave looks amazing. And then you go surf there, you're like, no, it's not. No, that's him.
Like it sucks out.
Yeah, that's him.
Pretty annoying.
But
Goofy who loves. Do you want me to name a Goofy who loves to go right? Everybody who's Goofy foot at Malibu loves to go right.
Yeah, of course.
There, Ivy Thomas is a goofy footer that loves to go right. Sam Crookshanks is one.
Sam, yeah.
Who else? There's like a pop quiz. You should just keep pop quizzing me on like, see how well I know my like surf history.
Tully likes to go right because he's got that switch game on.
He does. Also Oliver Parker, but
yeah.
I think Oliver doesn't care at all because I would imagine he doesn't care, but like I think because he's up in a land that's just like a lot of point breaks, he goes right a lot.
Oh, here's a good question. Here's a good one.
What?
Did that question come up?
No, I didn't see it.
Peter's asking, what's the trick to a drop knee cutback?
Fuck if I know. I think it's the pivot. I think it's the spot where it's less aesthetically how it looks, and you should ask this question to Chris Hall and not me, but it's less I think how it looks when you visually do it and more like the spot you're hitting on the board. I cannot do a drop knee. I like to say it's because I'm very short, and people have always been like, well, Dewey Weber does it, and I was like, yeah, I'm actually shorter than Dewey Weber, so take that. I don't know if it's true, but it's like Roisin has it. Like ask her too, like she's a great example.
Yeah, Roro.
I would say I can do a reverse drop knee, which is what they call it, but it's not a drop knee at all. But and I'll tell you from my experience with doing a reverse drop knee, is that you're standing on so if you're on the center, your feet are like a little, like 6 inches from the back or whatever. And then when you cross, let's see, my hand's here so you can see them. When you cross this foot to here, that is the pivot point. So you hit that pot and the board will just turn like nothing. So it's actually no effort when you're doing it.
Yeah.
Even though it looks aggressive. That's how I know it's like not really a drop knee cutback or whatever. I just do reverse drop knees. They're easier, but they're great for if you're surfing a left, or they're great for surfing backside. The reverse drop knees are perfect for surfing backside because they let you turn really fast and turn on a really steep part of the wave, and they let you pick up your speed and nose right really fast. Ashley, go to work. I don't even know why she's on here. Ashley, I don't know why you're on here. You don't know surfing. You got to be at work in a minute, I'm sure. Hopefully I'll drop some drinks off for you tomorrow is my plan.
Is this one did this question pop up for you?
None of them are popping up now.
Oh. Who's influenced your surfing the most?
A surfer that's influenced my surfing?
Let's do this. A surfer and a non-surfer.
I would say surfing wise, probably a lot of midget, it doesn't show, but I was talking about that with Jeff the other day, is that like I watched a lot of Cassia. I wanted to surf like Cass or like Belinda or like Corey Schumacher or Joyce Hoffman or any of those people. I mean, I don't surf like them at all. It's like literally my surfing is my version of what I've taken from them to like get myself to surf that way. But like I would say I surfed a lot. I was really into Lance Carson, the River Wizard, which I can't give you his name because he wants to be
the River Wizard.
He is a secret.
Yeah.
My friends, I learn a lot from like friends. Because we just goof off. It's like I get to surf with like AG, and it's just like we spend a lot of time in the water just goofing off and like trying to do weird tricks, and so that gets you to like learn a lot of stuff, and it really influences, and it helps. I think it helps me. It helped me loosen my brain to what you could do and what you want to do, and make it more fun. So it's just not like just being what you're supposed to be doing, and it made me realize that I could be just goofing off a lot more. Non-surfer, I'm gonna say maybe I know I've said Prefontaine before, but I have said Prefontaine.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say maybe the Muppets.
The
and
Muppets.
like all of that. I just think like it's a bit more whimsical. I just believe in what's I like it. It helps me remind me like you can do whatever you want to do. It's like a little more of what's possible, and I think what's also influenced me is like the punk ska scene, because it's just like I've spent so much time not being cool that it made it really easy for me to forge a path to wherever I was going, which is I guess right here doing this Instagram live. But I wasn't worried about everything led to this moment right here. But I wasn't as worried about being cool or whatever, because I was already on this program that was like not that cool, and so it just helps you realize that you just do whatever you want to do and not what everybody's trying to convince you to do. So it's like, as much as like we want to like hassle people for doing kooky shit, it's just like people are just out there trying to have a good time. And as long as they're not being awful about it, like, I don't know, like it's a lot of wasted energy.
I mean, wouldn't you think that's like the best advice though? It's like, don't worry about what other people think and do your thing.
I mean, some people are going to hate it, but at some point it might be cool. It's like these glasses are like a great example. And if Ashley's still on, she would agree with me. As somebody who's worn glasses their whole life, like you spend a good part of them being called stupid names and not being very, thought of being rad. But like then a few years ago, glasses became really cool. And then it was just like, people were like, are those real? And I'd be like, yeah, they're real. But it was, and then people were like, do you get tired of that? I'm like, no, I've spent so many years being called a four eyes or an idiot that it's just like, I'm here. I'm relishing in the part where I'm going to be cool, because guess what? That ship is going to sail and I'll be back to being like less cool because I'm wearing glasses. So it's like, and I think I'm already there, because these face masks that we have to wear just fog your glasses up. And I'm like, well, we're done.
Yes, done. I always think it's the best advice. I mean, like exactly what you said with your glasses. Like me growing up in New York and the stuff I was into, even in like grammar school, the fact that I was into like skateboarding and BMX was not very cool. And I didn't care. I mean, it didn't faze me at all. I was like, I'm just going to do it. And then eventually it actually did become cool, which kind of annoyed me, but that made me not want to do it. But I think at the end of the day, you just got to do you, right? You got to.
Who said that? You hate wearing your glasses? I don't really get tired of them, but like mine are a good weight right now. Yeah. Sorry to interrupt you, but yeah, I don't know. Why couldn't you? Hey, I'll tell you that the part where your mask, like, I'm like, if anybody has any tips for how to wear your mask and not fug up your glasses, send them my way. Because
you know what it is? You probably
sucks.
You probably need a mask that when you breathe is not pushing the air up. So the cloth mask.
Okay.
I mean,
no, but if you use the metal thing, it messes it up anyway. So it's just like, Band-Aid centers. Oh yeah. But it's like I only have one of those. I don't know. Whatever. Maybe I'll just now the time to get LASIK. Maybe we've hit that moment. Is LASIK an essential service?
Have you ever worn contacts?
No, I haven't. I never liked them. I work in a kitchen, so I'm like, there's a lot of flour, and now I have like a perigium in this eye, and so it's just like I can't wear contacts because
I wear them, and I have astigmatism in my right eye, and I wanted to get LASIK, and my doctor, I'm 46 now, my doctor was like, there's no point in doing it. Like, it's annoying surfing wise, because I do surf with the contacts and I get knocked out every once in a while. Now, I don't know if you've seen me where I've like been surfing with like one eye closed, like.
No, of course I have. Why would I have seen that? I can't see anything.
Yeah.
Who said? Oh, yeah, Liv. I could. My left eye is the one that's worse, so I could do maybe just wear one for the left eye and then just put a patch over the right eye.
Oh, that'd be a look. A mask, a patch, and a fucking monocle.
The only thing that can make wearing a mask even weirder.
That's like some straight up like steampunk shit. Like it would just be like, you would just be like, what is going on?
It's just weird because like so I've been doing this thing where, not that anybody cares, but I do this thing where like I don't know my prescription. What am I, a scientist?
Dude, my wife is
like, it's this. Can you guys see it? I don't know if you can make it so it's like the part where there you can almost see it, maybe right there.
Dude, my wife is like a negative like 6 or something. Like it's like, oh. I just know from contact lenses because you're putting them in your eye all the time. It says it on the package. That's the only reason.
Oh, okay. Well, I guess. Well, I don't have contacts, so I don't care that I wear glasses. I've been wearing my whole life, so who cares? Weird group heroes growing up, male and female. Whew.
That's a good question.
They're not Coke bottles. I'm not there. That's not.
No, they're not that big.
Yet. My heroes growing up. That's such a good question. I don't know. Gilda Radner. I was really into Gilda Radner or like Carol Burnett. And I'm not that old, but it was just like I was at that age where you would just watch like reruns. So comedians. I like a lot of comedians. A male hero. Never met her. I don't know.
Herb, that's exactly how I feel when I put my wife's glasses on by accident.
What?
Just that it feels like it's like they're just like totally like a prism. Like I don't even know what's going on.
That's what Jeff says. I know she's great on SNL. I thought she was so funny. Like as a little like 7-year-old watching reruns of this stuff because like that was like what my parents watched. So then that's what I watched, and it was on like Nick at Night and stuff like that. So I would watch like that kind of stuff. So I watched a lot of like Carol Burnett or Gilda Radner or who else? Watched a lot of Wonder Woman. I like the one with like
Lindsay Carter. Is that her name?
Linda
Carter.
So a lot of that, I guess.
There was a skateboarding episode. Remember when she skated down the street? That's like a famous one. Yeah,
they did it on. There was a whole thing where they were doing that for everything. But yeah, I don't know. In conclusion, for Stretch Fives, I don't know. If anybody has any questions, ask me. But I don't know.
I mean, look, we've already.
My parents watched Seinfeld, so yes, I did watch a lot of Seinfeld as a kid. Luckily, I was like a little, I don't know, I was like a little weirdo kid that would just watch all this weird stuff. So I like that, like Seinfeld. I watched a lot of like The State.
The State was so good.
Summer. I watched Strangers with Candy with like Amy Sedaris.
That was good.
Really developed my sense of humor into like whatever it is now.
Did you ever watch Party Down?
No, I haven't watched it. I might watch it. I've watched episodes, but I haven't watched it.
I mean, if you're into the State stuff, because it's a bunch of people from that, Kevin Marino and those people, because like my wife is like a State addict. Like that's her. The Stella crew, that's her whole thing. So she watches anything they've ever been in, like Viva Variety.
Kevin Marino's on Black Friday. Or
What's
Black
that?
Monday. He's on Black Monday.
Oh, is he? He's so funny.
It's different every time. And what happens. Yes, that's true.
Yeah.
Okay, so I know Chana's going to tell you want to do like the 4 steps or you don't.
What up, Mikey?
And other people will be like, you don't want to do the 2 quick steps, that little that like high performance surfers do. But like, I know I've done it. I notice I do it a lot sometimes. And I do whatever steps takes. I'll be honest, like sometimes I'll like mess up my steps and then I'll just do a little switch 5 or whatever. And so you'll see me do those every so often. Or see me do these weird cross 5s because I've like fully somehow messed up my steps. But Ken Marino is a genius. But yeah, like I think it's whatever. I think you shouldn't be shooting for 2, but like sometimes you got to do a quick one, and sometimes you got to like.
Yeah, something happened. You know what it is? Is a lot of people are doing Instagram lives, and it keeps crashing the system. So I've been hearing that from a lot of people.
What's Peter's question?
So Peter wanted to know what your favorite thing to bake is.
I don't know. What's my favorite thing to bake? I kind of like doing rolls. I kind of like find the action of doing rolls kind of really chill. So I like making rolls, I guess. I don't mind. I can do whatever.
Yeah.
I like, one of the things I learned from working at Moza is that do the things you like, and then the things you don't like, do those first. So.
Oh, that's good advice. Well, I'll tell you one thing. Erin really wants me to ask you how to make the budino.
That's easy. Well, not anymore, but at one point I was probably the person who's made it the most times in the world. That's the easy one.
That's her obsession. Like, that's like the thing that, like, she goes there for that more than the pizza.
Yeah, you gotta learn how to burn it. I can show her.
Yeah. Well, after this like COVID nonsense is over, we could have a little like bake session.
Yeah, Peter, I want to meet Matt Rogers from the game show. I hear you have like the Quibi hookup, so hook me up on that.
Here's someone else. Can you see that?
Yeah, I cook by trade. Oh, I bake. I'm a baker, pastry person. I'm not really a cook. I mean, I can cook, but I'm not. I would say I'm cook by passion, baker, pastry person by trade. So that's
slaying it over at Ola Dios. Everything that's coming out of there is amazing. I keep missing the tamales. Like
Tuesday.
I know. It's just like, I was going to drive down this week, and then it just like didn't work out and stuff. But yeah, I think we should probably close this thing up. I'm sorry we had a little break, but we're going to be back next week. Again, Worm's going to pick a topic. Stretch fives was what it was all about. Told you how to do them. Told the good ones.
Yeah. If you have any questions, ask me. If I've learned anything from cooking is that you don't benefit from keeping all your secrets. So I have no problem telling you everything.
Yeah. All right. So listen, guys, we'll check you out next week. Yeah. And then hopefully this thing will be on YouTube. We're trying to figure that out. And yeah, peace out.
I'm not good at the internet.